Hi everybody, my name's Warren. Welcome back to this intro to SQL course. Okay, in this video we're going to look at the where clause. So let me open up a new query window. Let's take a look at our customer data. So we're going to go select. I'm just going to do a star for now. From customer. If we execute that, here's our customer table. So we might want to return only a specific record. We know we can use top to get maybe the top 3 records, but maybe we don't want the top 3 records. Maybe we want record 4. We want this Dave customer's information. So how we can do that, if we had to say it in logical terms, we want to get data from the customer table and filter it by first name is Dave. So in order to filter data, we can use the where clause. So how that works, we do select, we choose the fields we want. I'm using the wildcard from customer, and then we use where. Now this is where we can define a filter on the table. If you had to think of using Excel, you would go to the top here, you would click on filter data, and the drop down would come down and you would click on Dave, and it would filter this table in Excel by Dave. So we want to say, go to first name, where first name is equal to, and Dave is text, so we've got to put it in the inverted commas. You say where first name is equal to Dave. So here you can see we're saying, select all the data from the customer table where in the first name column, the name is Dave. If we execute that, it pulls only Dave. So that is a way we can filter data, and we can filter on any column. We could have said where customer ID is equal to 4. So if we had to just try a different thing, I'm just going to copy it down here. I'll comment this one out. Where we can say our customer ID, I think it was capitals, no, customer ID is equal to. So if we do it like this, it's not going to work. Oh, it still does work. Okay, it's clever enough to actually understand. But we can get away with doing it like that. That is the actual way to do it. Because this is a number, we want to make that a number. SQL is clever enough to see that this is still 4 here. But if we had to, for instance, comment this out, let's do, and take, on a text, you have to have these inverted commas. So if we run that, it tells you column name Dave. It can't understand that. It has to have these on either side. And you can see if you leave one off, it shows everything after it in red, because SQL's looking for a closing tag here. So we can close it there. So that's a way that we can filter using text or a number. So we might want to use an option called like. So here we're saying where first name equals, we're saying it must be exactly Dave, then return it. But what if we had to say, let me copy this down here. First name, like. So what like gives you the opportunity to do is to use wildcards in whatever you are trying to search here. So if we say like Dave, and we run that, it still returns Dave. But what if, let's go back and look at our data again. So I can run just the select from customer to pull all the data. I'm not highlighting the filter. So yeah, we'll get the full table. So what if we wanted to know everybody that had a certain portion of the name being the same? So if we go down here, we've got Larry and we've got Harry. Both of them have got ARRY in the name. So what if we wanted to return everything that was like Ari? So if we had that, if we run this, SQL won't understand what we're wanting it to do because there's nothing with Ari in the first name. But what we can do, we want to have a wildcard for the first letter because it was Harry and Larry. and that you can use a percent symbol. So what we're telling SQL is it must end in a or or y. It can have anything in front of it. So if we run this one now, it's returned array and array, and this has got an L in front and an H in front, but it could have anything in front of it. As long as it ends in a or or y, it'll return it. So like allows you to have wildcards in here. So that is what that does. Now, the really nice thing with SQL is it has a not statement. So we can put not here. And when you put not here, it does the opposite of what it would have done with the like. So this is now going to return everything that doesn't end with a or y. So if we run that, we can now see Larry and Harry are no longer here, but everybody that doesn't have an a or y is here. So it's basically do the inverse of like. So we'll run that. So not is quite handy. Now, another option you can do is not equal to. So if we take this one here, we're saying we want to return Dave. So let's place that there. If we run that, it returns Dave. We can say not equal by doing these two characters here. So what we're saying is select everything from customer where the first name is not equal to Dave. And if we look at that now, you'll see there's only 19. Dave is missing. So yeah, number 4 is not in here. Dave was number 4. So that is not equal. So you can always filter by something, or you can exclude that same option. Now there's another very, very nice feature where you can say select star from, I'll use customer again, customer, and then we're going to do where first name in. So the in statement has got to be in brackets, and you can basically put multiple selections in this. So if we go here and we say I want Dave, and you separate them by commas, I want Larry and I want Harry. I go here, Larry and Harry, and I run that now. You're basically telling SQL, select everything from the customer table where the first name contains Dave, Larry, or Harry. And then you can see Dave, Larry, or Harry. Again, just like we did, we have the option of the inverse. We say it's not in. And there you can see we have 17 returned. We've excluded the 3 that we've said don't have this in the column. So that's using not in. So that's basically how we can use select. We can filter the data by using an equals. We can use a like if we want to use a wildcard. And that wildcard can be at the end. We can say everything with a certain character at the end. Or you can use the inverse, not equal to, not in, not like. So you can always use a selection or an inverse of that selection. And then you have in or not in, which can filter the data to include or exclude whatever you put within these brackets here. So that's some basic where clause queries. We'll come back in the next video. We'll continue with where, and we'll start doing some more advanced queries. Thank you.